Well, welcome, you lucky ducks, to the trailer for the Chesapeake Bay Journal Newscast. I'm your host, Jeremy Cox. I'm a reporter here with the Bay Journal. I cover Maryland. And I think if you tune into this podcast, I think you're going to not only learn a whole bunch about the environment in the Mid-Atlantic region, but also get to know a little bit about what makes this place so special. So the way it works is I sit down with some of my colleagues at the Bay Journal and we talk about the biggest news that month in what's happening with the Bay restoration, with big projects happening that affect the environment, and of course insights into all the critters that we know and love. And if you're new to the Bay Journal, we've been around for a minute. We're the leading independent voice for environmental journalism in the Bay region, covering the entire watershed of the Bay from Cooperstown, New York, down to Virginia Beach, Virginia. So find us wherever you find your podcasts. You can also find us over on our website, bayjournal.com, and just click on the podcast link at the top. Look for us every month. Just put us on, tune in, relax, and get all your news streaming right into your ears. Thanks very much, and we hope you enjoy it. And to give you a little taste of what's to come, here's a clip from our first episode. Yeah, we've kind of got a national story in our backyard here with the Potomac Interceptor spill, the collapse back in January that spilled millions upon millions of gallons of untreated raw sewage into the tributary of the Potomac River and washed downstream. The owner of the pipe, DC Water, has fixed the pipe enough, got a temporary fix where the sewage is flowing where it's supposed to be, and now the cleanup is going forward. So just got off the phone a few moments ago with a researcher with the University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science who is looking at the biogeochemistry of it all. And they found that there's already signs. So here we are, it's April something right now, already signs in the Potomac of phytoplankton bloom.
Oh,
So of
wow.
stuff growing as a result of the nutrients that came downstream. And so, given the location of it and the size of it, suggests that this is going to be probably a longer season in the Potomac for algae blooms and for the dead zones that follow behind them.
Yeah. I mean, Carl, you've been in the so-called Bay game for a while. Have you seen like anything of this magnitude before?
Infrastructure failure, this is obviously a massive one, and it carries with it a lot of things that the spring rains don't necessarily do, including a lot of human health concerns with the bacteria and stuff like that. If you go back to like the 70s, almost all the sewage was going into the Potomac with very little treatment. So it's kind of like,
Right.
you know,
No,
turning
it's
it.
interesting you bring that up because the scientist I was talking to was saying this is like going back to the 1800s,
Yeah.
Oh,
to the days of like people putting out night soil and workers coming around in the night to throw it into the river, basically. And in those days, it was estimated, she was telling me, about 50 million gallons a day of untreated sewage would go into the river that way from Washington, D.C. alone. This spill was about 250 to 300 million gallons. So, in a way, it's sort of this unplanned science experiment. Okay, what was it like back in the 1800s?
Mm.
We're experiencing it today.
that's
Yeah.
so wild to think about.